Hey, how's it going? I wanted to put together a quick video, an overview of the REI Quick Cash system. So hopefully this video could be able to give you a little bit more clarity and a little bit more understanding about what the Quick Cash system, the REI Quick Cash system is, and maybe help you make a more informed decision when you decide to invest in it, okay? Now this program was created by Zack, and he's a real estate investor, and he's been a real estate investor for the past 10 years in 7 markets. And as far as the investing types that he's had experience in, they are wholesaling, lease option, rehabbing, apartments, commercial space, raw land, land development, and private money. Now Zack is also the president of the Alabama Real Estate Investor Association, and he's been a featured expert on ESPN Radio, Talk Real Estate Money, and a whole lot more. Now what I'm going to do is just tell you exactly what's included in the REI Quick Cash system. Now there are 7 training modules, okay? And one of the modules is getting started fast, finding deals, finding buyers. Another module is about protecting your paycheck, and that is extremely vital. You want to make sure that you're protecting your money and protecting your paycheck and putting the wheels in motion so you can be able to take fast action, start to find deals, start to find buyers, and start to make money as fast as possible. Now you're also going to get access to the REI Quick Cash Software, and what this is really, it's the holy grail. It really is to finding all the deals and all the buyers all in one simple software. This is what the software that Zack has delivered. He's delivered this software to make your job a whole lot easier so you won't have to do as much manual work finding motivated buyers. Now you're also going to get the REI Quick Cash Flowchart, and that's really a step-by-step roadmap for doing deals and bringing in cash fast. Now this young lady, her name is Timmy, and she received a check for $40,942.92. Now she got this check from a co-wholesale deal that she did with a partner, and her story is that she had, not too long ago, she had surgery and she was bedridden. I believe she was bedridden for about 3 or 4 months. And she said she made more money in those 3 months than she made in an entire year. She made more money in 3 months than she made in an entire year. And she just made a quick video for Zack thanking him for sharing his strategies and sharing his wisdom about the real estate investing market. Okay, now she said that after everything was done, that they actually made, her and her partner made $15K. And you know what, I want to just ask you, what would you do with an extra $15,000? I mean, would you go on a trip? For me, I would love to go on a trip to Fiji. I've always wanted to go to Fiji, so that's what I would probably do with the money. And maybe help out some family members or something like that. But what would you do? Would you pay off some credit card bills, get rid of some debt? Go on a trip, I don't know if there may be someone that's sick in your family. Maybe you can help pay some of their medical bills and get them care. I mean, there's a couple of things you can do with $15,000 for sure. There's a few things you can do with $15,000, depending on how you spend your money, of course. And she just made a quick video for him, and she made she got a check for $40,000, okay? Now right here is another check from another student of Zack's, and this one is for $7,675. So I think if you want to learn about real estate investing, if you want to know the ins and outs, Zack he's been through it all. He's made all the mistakes, he's lost money, and the thing is he's going to teach you what not to do and what to do so you can be able to piggyback off of his success and you can be able to make money as soon as possible, okay? And that's what it's all about. It's about finding motivated buyers, being able to do deals, and being able to make cash as fast as you can. So hopefully this video gave you a little bit more clarity. Hopefully it was able to help you out, and you should go ahead and click on the link below so you can start making deals as fast as possible and be able to make money as soon as possible, okay? So hopefully this video helped you. Click on the link below, and until next time, take care of yourself, take care of others. Peace.